Hi there folks, I hope you're all well. So this particular recipe is how to make a seitan korma. It's not a vegan korma because the yoghurt I use in this is a dairy yoghurt. If you want to make it vegan, you need to substitute out the yoghurt I've used for a dairy yoghurt. Now this particular edit I'm pitching at people who know their way around the kitchen. Apart from the things that I don't cover in it is how to make boiled rice, and I don't cover how to make the seitan. I've got separate videos for both of them should you require them. So without further ado, let's crack on, let's make a korma.
And so the very first thing we're looking to do is to measure out 50 grams of almonds. And we're going to blanch those almonds in a pot of boiling water for 60 seconds to help remove the skin from the seed. Now add 3 tablespoons of water from your blanching pan to your mini chopper. It's blanched for 60 seconds, drain the almonds into a colander or sieve. And now we're going to take and we're going to remove the skins. It's an easy process, but be careful, they are hot. What we're looking to do is take the pointy end of the almond, put it in your fingers and give it a gentle squeeze. And that will de-skin them. The almond will come popping out of the skin. Just be careful that we're not shooting almonds all the way across the room, because I've done that. It might be a fun game, but you're ruining your food. And once de-skinned, add all your almonds to the mini chopper. Next up, we're looking for garlic cloves. We're looking for 3 cloves, or we're looking for 3/4 of a block of frozen crushed garlic if you prefer to go that way. Either way, set the garlic aside in a small ramekin until required. And to the same ramekin, we're either going to add 1 block of frozen crushed ginger, or we're going to add 4 centimetres of root ginger. If you're going the root ginger route, take a spoon, scrape it along the ginger to remove the outer skin, and then finely chop it with your chef's knife. If using frozen garlic or ginger, quick defrost in the microwave for 30 seconds. And we then want to take and add our whole garlic cloves and our ginger straight into the mini chopper that's already got the almonds in it. And whack on your mini chopper, your mini blender, and blend it until we've got a dry paste. And now we want to add between 3 and 5 tablespoons of boiled water. It varies depending on how dry the actual mixture has been so far, so that's why you go in first with the chopper and then add the water, and it becomes something you get used to seeing the sight of where it needs to be between the 3 and 5. But we're going to blend this until we've got quite a smooth paste, almost a liquid. And once reasonably smooth, we're going to remove that from our mini chopper and we're going to set it aside in a bowl until required. You can see the sort of consistency that we require as I empty it out of the chopper bowl. Chop roughly 660 grams of seitan into bite-sized pieces. If you need a seitan recipe, see my standard recipe, as that's a really good one for this dish. Now we need to roughly chop 1 cannonball onion or 2 large onions and then set them aside in a covered bowl just to protect your eyes. Now, depending on how big a portion you want, this can serve between 3 and 6. I'm prepping rice here for 3, so 1 cup of basmati rice. If you want to know how to make perfect boiled rice, check out my other recipe. Because this is specifically about the korma, I'm not going to go through how to cook the rice here. If you need that information, seek out my how to make perfect boiled rice recipe also on the channel. And next up, we're looking to add 5 cardamom pods, 5 green cardamom pods to a small ramekin and set that aside. Then to a different ramekin, we're going to add 3 teaspoons of ground cumin. And to the same ramekin that's already got our cumin, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of table salt. And to a large bowl, we're going to add 250 millilitres, which is a UK cup size of natural yoghurt. And again, we're going to set that aside. Now, luckily enough, this particular vegan cream comes in 250mm portions straight from the shops. So we don't need to transfer it to anything, we just need to keep this aside until we require it. Now add 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil to a wok or a sauteuse pan. And we then want to set our temperature to medium-high Once at temperature, we're going to add all of our chopped seitan and we're going to fry this for 6 to 7 minutes. And stir it occasionally across the 6 to 7 minutes just so we evenly brown the seitan. And we can now add our seitan back into the original tub that we had it in before we started cooking it for the 6 to 7 minutes. Try and leave as much of the oil as you can in the sautepan because we're going to use that for the next stage. As you see there was quite a lot of oil left in the pan. We're now going to add our 5 cardamom pods and we're going to make sure we've got them sitting in the oil rather than dry cooking them on an area of the pan that might no longer have oil on them. And we're going to cook the cardamom pods for 2 minutes until they've opened up due to the high heat. Keeping the cardamom in the sautepan, we're now going to add our onion and we're going to fry it for 5 minutes. And again, just like we did with the seitan, we're going to stir it occasionally. What we're looking for over the 5 minutes is for the onion to turn translucent and golden, edging in towards the brown as you see in the pan here. Once the onions are ready, we're going to turn the temperature down to medium-low, and then we're going to add our almond, garlic and ginger paste. Give everything a quick mix together. Then follow that up with our cumin and our salt. Give everything a stir together again. Visually, you're just going to have to get used to the look of this, but if it's looking too dry, which probably about 9 out of 10 times it does, we want to add 1 more tablespoon of water and we're then going to cook this off for 5 minutes. And just like every previous stage with this dish, we're going to stir it periodically. We don't need to be on top of it all the time, but we do want to move it around a little bit to stop any sticking on the pan. Now, prior to using our yoghurt, just nip in with a fork and give it a wee stir together to make sure there's no separation before we go to use it. And we want to reduce the heat on our hob to medium-low, and then we're going to add the yoghurt 2 tablespoons at a time. And with our spatula, we want to mix everything together and we're going to cook this until we can see the yoghurt has been visibly absorbed. And then we will repeat the process again with another 2 tablespoons of the yoghurt and again mix it all together. Cook it until it's all been absorbed once more. And repeat this process until we run out of yoghurt. So there's our 3rd time, our 4th time, our 5th time, we're getting there, and our 6th and final time. Just between each stage, take your time, make sure that yoghurt's fully absorbed before we move on and we add the rest. For the last one, just go in with your cooking spatula and make sure you get all that yoghurt that might be stuck to your bowl into your dish. Give it a good stir together and then cook it until we can see it's nice and creamy and fully absorbed. As you see, the sauce should be quite thick and it should be quite creamy. And we can now return our seitan to the pan, turn the heat down to low and mix everything together. All we're doing is returning heat to the seitan, so we're going to cover this with a lid to trap the heat in and we're going to cook it like that for 5 minutes. And we can now add our cream, vegan if you could, dairy if you must. We should all doing our little bit for the planet and it's a simple, easy one and it does the exact same job as a dairy one. But do which one you prefer. But we're going to add that and we're going to mix everything together. We then want to get everything simmering, and once it's simmering, we're going to cook it for 8 to 9 minutes. And at risk of repeating myself, just like every other stage with this dish, periodically give it a stir to stop anything sticking to the bottom of your pan. And once our 8 to 9 minutes is up, we're going to remove it from the heat. And we're going to serve it on a bed of plain boiled rice. You could go for a flavoured rice, but the korma really works well with just the plain salted boiled rice. And to finish the dish off, we're going to give it a reasonable sprinkling of dried coriander leaf and toasted almond flakes as our garnish, to your taste.
So there we go. Hopefully A, you can see me because of this big beam of light shooting into the room, and B, hopefully you can hear me because the dishwasher's running because I had a lot of dishes because I forgot to put it on earlier. So as usual, my chaos at the end of the meal, but here we go, one lovely seitan korma. I'll come a bit closer to the camera and maybe that will help with the light and hopefully help with the noise as the microphone picks me up a bit closer. Now, when it comes to the garnish, I like to absolutely slather it in the toasted almond flakes. It makes a difference. It really just adds such an oomph to the meal. The coriander leaf, do it to your taste, but really slather on these toasted almonds. So almost a couple of flakes of rice in there, but the korma is the main thing we're here for. Really rich, really creamy, but really subtle flavour taste. There's hints of everything in there, but they're really subtle. It's a really nice, subtle, that's probably the best word, curry to make. I love it. Wife traditionally hates kormas. This recipe was borrowed from a traditional Indian korma and then made towards the vegan side with the seitan and with the vegan cream. Can't do much about the yoghurt, although you can make your own vegan yogurts, but it's vegan-ish and it's lovely. I absolutely recommend you to make it. Thanks for watching. Thanks again for all the comments, and you and your families, you stay safe out there. I'm off to enjoy my dinner. See ya.